What's up, folks? Stu Myrick, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Ready for another Tuesday night on YouTube Live as we record the radio show for tomorrow night. Hope everybody is doing well. We're getting that much closer to Christmas, which is a fun time. Things are starting to shake. We've got a COVID-19 vaccine that's being distributed, so that's good. Got another one that's on the way. So, things are starting to look up. Might be a pretty good Christmas after all. Let's see. Tonight, we've got not one but two pay-per-views. You got Ring of Honor Final Battle, their first pay-per-view since Final Battle last year. And, a lot of excitement about that. In fact, we will once again start kind of in the middle of what would be the middle of the radio show, because the first segment for the radio show and the podcast is an interview that I did late last week with Rhett Titus from the Foundation, formerly All Night Express, Scum, Flex Express, you name it. He's been in Ring of Honor for quite some time. He's going to be part of a Pure Rules tag team match. I think they said this is the first one in Ring of Honor history. Him and Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, taking on Fred Yehi and Wheeler Yuta. So you'll hear that conversation. If you want to see it after we're done tonight, the video is up on YouTube. So you can check that out and get a sneak peek. So we're going to preview that as well as WWE TLC, which is this Sunday. By the way, Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which means it's going to be on pay-per-view. It's going to be on Ring of Honor Honor Club and Fight TV. You know what that means. We've got a code to give away. So go to our Twitter page, at SGTWATX. You'll see the tweet pinned to the top of the page. Basically, you got to follow us. You got to follow Fight TV. You should be following Ring of Honor anyway. And then like and retweet the tweet. That's all you got to do. Then what we'll do is we'll take the list of everybody that does that. Friday at noon Central, we'll pick a winner. You'll get the code as well as instructions on how to redeem it. So, but yeah, for a myriad of reasons, I'm more excited about Final Battle than I am about TLC. And if you believe if you're into TV ratings, seems not that many people are interested in TLC. If you look at the ratings from last night on Raw, I think they hit 1.5 million, which that's yikes. In fact, if you look strictly at the 18 to 49 demo, Dynamite beats Raw. Now, Dynamite had a hell of a show on last Wednesday. Had a hell of a show. And they, in the 18 to 49 demo, which, WWE tends to not do as well, Dynamite beat them. You expect that, say beat NXT, but they beat Raw. So, we'll see, it's, WWE, God bless them. There's just not, and I think part of this is the simple fact that if you're like me, if you've watched WWE for a long time, and I've been watching them 30 plus years, it's sad, but you kind of know the procedure. It was a paint by numbers kind of build to the pay-per-view. you had the multiple matches. For instance, you got New Day taking on Hurt Business for the tag titles, Raw tag titles. It was paint by numbers. You had a couple matches. You had the singles matches. And I got a feeling that Hurt Business is going to take the titles. Okay, sure. They're not really doing that much. The women's tag title scene is an absolute it's chaos. I don't want to call it a joke, but you decide you're going to put the champions who are thrown together tag team, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler. You decide you're going to throw together another tag team in Lana and Asuka being the Raw Women's Champion, and then have them contend. And now you've written this situation where Lana is out with injuries, so Asuka has to find another partner. Whatever. It's kind of hard to care for something like this when they don't care enough to even put some thought into it, So the two main title matches, yeah, that's it's interesting. I don't see either title changing. In fact, outside of the Raw tag titles, I don't see any championships. I think those are the only. Let's see. SmackDown Women's title is also on the line. I mean, and we may find out more on SmackDown on Friday night. We do not. I'm sure we don't have the full card because, as of right now, there are only 6 matches scheduled. So, yeah, we'll find out what else is happening Friday night on SmackDown. But I'm just, it's a pay-per-view. I'm sure I'll split time. What's the Sunday night game this week? Let's check the National Football League. Let's see. By the way, if you are a football fan, watch Sunday Night Football. We do these occasional watch parties on hornfm.com and on the Horn Facebook page, and I'm honored to be the host because they're being done in partnership with the NFL Alumni Austin chapter, of which I am a proud member. And this past Sunday, had a great time doing just the first half, but watched the first half with lifetime Longhorn, former NFL lineman Justin Blaylock, who played 8 years with the Falcons, plus our esteemed chapter president, lifetime Longhorn, 2 Super Bowl rings with the Giants, legendary kicker Raul Alegre. And it was great to kind of talk football with him. So if we do another one of those, check it out. And keep it on. Check out hornfm.com, or you can check social medias. The Horn ATX is the station's Twitter and Instagram. And if we do another one, it'll show up on there. Sunday night game this week: Browns-Giants. Browns at the Giants. Browns lost that heartbreaker to the Ravens Monday night. On the late surge there, thanks to Lamar Jackson. So they got to keep the Ravens at bay for a possible wild card slot. Meanwhile, the Giants, if I'm not mistaken, they're atop the NFC East, which, oh, no, they're not. Excuse me. They are a game back of the Washington football team. Washington 6-7, Giants at 5-8. So there's a chance. There's a chance. They could contend for the division title and get in the playoffs. The woeful NFC East. So anyway, Ring of Honor Final Battle, WWE TLC preview. Got a couple other notes. We'll talk. New Japan has announced some more matches for Wrestle Kingdom 15. It is 15, right? I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure. Yes. 15. Yes. All right. So I got that right. Good. They've announced a few more matches. Again, 2-night event. We know it's going to be Naito defending both the heavyweight and IC titles against Kota Ibushi. We also know that the winner of that match, who will end up being the double champion, will go on the next night to face Jay White, Switchblade Jay White. So they've added a few more titles. We'll talk about that. And something fun. We did this exercise a few weeks ago, and we'll talk about it some more. AEW, and they're reenacting scenes from A Christmas Story. You know, of course, they're on TNT. TNT, TBS do the 24 hours of A Christmas Story, starting Christmas Eve. So they're going to do some fun stuff, and we'll talk about that. So all in all, should be a fun show as we await the arrival of Justin the Smash Simmons, who will, I think, show up eventually. Not to mention, I've got my phone right here because who knows if someone calls, like Dustin Rhodes or somebody. That was a lot of fun. Dustin calling last week. They're putting some more some touches on the Rhodes Wrestling Academy in Leander, and he's got the logo on the door. He's got some posters up on the wall, or they're about to go up on the wall. Saw pictures. Check out. You can see it on his Twitter at Dustin Rhodes. I think his Instagram is at Dustin Rhodes TX. But you can search it. You can find it. But yeah, that should be fun. Give me one sec. Hello. Okay. Somebody just knocked on the door. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's not Justin. Justin knows just to walk in. So, oh well, can't be that important. So anyway, we're waiting on Justin. Let's see what else. Friday nights have become cleared now. Lake Travis lost in the bi-district round to Round Rock. First time they've been bounced in the first round of the Texas high school football playoffs since 2012. And it was you could tell they were moving about a step slow. And Round Rock was motivated, and they got him. So congratulations to the Dragons. They got Cibolo Steel coming up this Friday night at the Palace on Palmer. So it should be a fun game. But that ends the season. That's in high school football for me. So, which isn't the worst thing. Get to relax a little bit. I'll be honest, I wasn't looking forward to having to drive somewhere either Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas. So, hold on one second. Somebody's knocking. Come in! Hi. Yeah. Ah. You know what? That's what I heard. I think I heard him last night. And we had ABC Pest Control come by today. Yes. And they thought it was rats because there's some rat droppings up above. It was right around where my vent is for the filter. I'm sorry, I'm doing a live show, so no, that's okay. Okay. Yeah. There is. I have a phone number. Wait one second, folks. There is a phone number. Because the guy that came by, he left me his number. I tell you what, I'll call him real quick. So he came through your thing. Oh wow. Okay. Let me call him real quick then. Let me call him real quick. neighbor. Did you know your neighbor was a crackhead? No. Had no idea. All right, so I'm back. Apparently we got critters.
Dude,
hanging around.
Stu has been holding out on us the entire time. His neighbor is totally hot.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure she's taken too. So
that's what they all say.
Well, yeah.
And then you turn on the Suavemente. I know you got it.
Dude,
Stu's been on more
right,
dates this year than I've been on dates this year.
Yeah, the problem is they don't last.
Well, that's what happens when you're, turning and burning.
I don't want to turn and burn. I'm too old to turn. I can barely turn.
That's not how you're going to get any if you can't turn.
I'm trying to go slow and steady.
I told you we got to work on that DDP yoga.
Well, yeah.
Or DDPY now.
DDPY, yeah. Do that after the new year. How you doing?
I'm tired. Sometimes, I'm always thinking about the show. I'm just like,
I was going to say, you think about this show almost more than I do, which is good. I mean, I applaud the.
We've been at it for a while now, so I'm always thinking everything has to evolve, though. It can't stay the same. So I'm always thinking, like, maybe I need to talk to my agent, ask him about hosting a couple of shows next year to turn the tables on you, kind of like the NWO.
So you
I guess
host
I'd be like,
instead of me.
I guess I would be the wolf pack in this case.
Well, the problem is, though, we still have to do it here.
Yeah.
So, but you want to sit in the host chair, and I would sit in the co-host chair.
Well, I would talk to my agent and go through the rundown, and then I would pass it to your agent.
You have an agent. I don't have an agent.
Yeah, you do. That's what my agent said anyways.
Sure.
Maybe it was the wrong Stu Myrick.
Maybe. There is another Stuart Myrick in Austin.
I know there is. We've actually gone over this.
But, yeah, apparently there is. So, I think I mentioned to you, we got the first segment in the camp, Rhett Titus. He was good. First time we've ever talked to him.
Yeah, I can only imagine that this would be like his first time making the big rounds.
Yeah,
to promote.
Well, and he's been with Ring of Honor since 2006.
I know.
He hasn't had outside of All Night Express, I guess, with him and Kenny King. Maybe way back in the day with Scum. Outside of that, though, he was part of the Rebellion a little bit. Remember that?
But at the same time, I mean, all these pro wrestling companies, ROH included, really didn't start reaching out to the media.
True.
To have this type of presence where they are making regular interviews.
And we get, and there's certain ones we usually get, like Matt Taven and Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon.
who all end up holding on to some gold at some point. So Rhett Titus should really like his chances.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's in the can. We are going to give away. We've got Fight TV codes to give away. So same routine as always. Follow us at SGTWATX. Follow Fight TV at Fight TV, FITE-TV. Then like and retweet the tweet. It's pinned to the top of our profile page. And then Friday at noon Central, we'll pick a winner.
I'll tell you what, though. If you tune in live, let's just say your odds get a little bit better.
That's right. You get an early shot. You get a shot before the radio audience.
And if you make a comment, I think that's good for like a +5 in the entranceway.
We'll definitely make sure your name's in the hat.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
We'll give it the King's Draw.
Yeah. So we'll do a preview of Final Battle. We'll do a preview of WWE TLC. As I was just saying, I think I'm more excited about Final Battle than I am TLC. TLC has been a very paint by numbers kind of build.
Did yesterday night even count?
Apparently not to a lot of people because they didn't get very good ratings.
I mean, granted, I applaud the WWE. They decided to hold their worst possible episode of Raw during the best possible NFL game in the last 10 seasons. Yeah, so I mean, it worked out beautifully.
Yeah, that's true. And Friday night, and SmackDown's going to be on FS1 Friday night. So I don't know what's on Fox Friday night.
Yeah, Nickelodeon is getting an NFL game.
Yeah, I heard that this morning on the NFL Network.
I feel cheapened in some way. Like I wish I could have been a part of this broadcast.
Who's the former player that's on Good Morning Football?
Good Morning Football.
Burleson.
I'm not
Nate
sure.
Burleson.
Oh, okay.
So Nate Burleson is going to co-host with Ian Eagle,
No.
Ian Eagle, and some kid that does a show on Nickelodeon.
It's not Ian Eagle. It's its son. It's Noah Eagle.
Noah. Oh, okay. All right.
Noah is the play-by-play voice for I want to say he's the radio guy for the Clippers.
Oh, okay.
But he's really this is why I feel bad.
Well,
Granted, he has an inside step to his career choice, but he's only like 22.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
This is like the pro wrestling equivalent of Randy Orton.
Yes.
Like he got pushed to the top straight away because his dad is an
He is
Hall of
Cowboy.
Famer.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And is it Ian or Ian Eagle?
No, it's Ian.
Ian Eagle.
Yeah.
I never can remember. Ian Eagle's been at it for
Oh,
a
no,
while.
I'll take that back. It is Ian Eagle.
I want to say, I thought it was.
I always call him Ian. No, it's Ian Eagle.
But anyway,
no disrespect to Noah. I mean, obviously his work is good too.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just you can't
Just look
because he would be Eric Watts.
right.
In other words,
Joe Buck, Jack Buck. You know, Joe Buck has made a damn good career for himself, being the son of Jack Buck,
yeah.
the longtime voice of the Cardinals,
But I guess it's just like in any industry,
baseball Cardinals.
You know, nepotism is real.
It helps.
It does definitely help.
That's sure.
So I can't help to be like, obviously I applaud him. I think it's a terrific idea, but I can't
absolutely.
help but be a little jealous. It's okay to be
course.
jealous.
Of course. So anyway,
It's like where I can cut my promo. It's like 16 years. I've been on this road for 16 years, and this kid, this upstart, cocky, cool,
yeah.
just because of who his daddy is, gets to come up and have this groundbreaking. You know, I could just go on like that. But it's like
You could, but come on. We've been at this long enough. We know how this works.
No, the game is always changing.
Hell, Aaron Hogan's son is on Flex ATX with Snoop Daniel. What's his Nolan? I only know that because that's what I listened to on the way home from Lake Travis games, which has ended. Lake Travis has lost to Round Rock.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming.
Nobody did.
Hey, but
But if you saw the way Lake Travis and look, Hank Carter is one of the best coaches in high school football in Texas right now. It was just an off night. They were a step or two slow, and Round Rock took advantage of it.
Can't have off nights in the Texas State playoffs.
That's right. Israel Morgan is the running back for Round Rock. Damn good kid. So, all right.
You think people are going to let him slip away like a Deuce?
I don't know.
Because he's been tearing it up at Kansas State.
Yeah. They've got Cibolo Steel this Friday night at the Palace on Palmer, which that would have been nice, seeing that we're just down the street from there.
Well, I mean, if you decide to go to the game, it won't take you long.
Well, if you don't, you can hear it on the horn with Rodney Rodriguez and what's his name from IHS fan? Rick Epstein. They're going to do the call on the horn.
Oh, they have the Round Rock.
So they're
games?
going to do the round. No, they're just because Lake Travis isn't playing, and the Horn doesn't have any football Friday night. They're going to do the Round Rock Cibolo Steel game on there.
Yeah, so the Horn technically has a game.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because Bowie's not playing.
I mean, that's what it sounds like you're saying. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
since
Round
all
Rock
teams
Dragons
are out.
Yeah. So the Round Rock Dragons and Cibolo Steel Knights. That game will be on the Horn Friday night.
Doesn't Vandergriff aren't they on like a station?
They're on 1260 and 1019 FM.
Okay, but they're still in the playoffs.
I know. But just for the sake of having a second game, so they can continue having Flex ATX, so they can have Snoop, do his thing with all the shout-outs and everything. So.
Well, I mean, I'm still waiting for my Snoop Daniels shout-out. Maybe I listen more often if my shout-out was coming.
I'll remember that next time I do a shout-out. I've been on his show. I do the post-game usually. I'll call in to give whatever perspective I can.
I'm still waiting for Snoop to follow me back on Twitter.
Snoop, follow Smash Simmons on Twitter. I'll tell him. All right, so let's do a little radio magic.
Last time he was looking for a place to eat breakfast in Georgetown. I don't know where he ended up going.
There's a couple places, I think. I can't remember the names, but oh well. Let's do this thing.
This is Ring of Honor ring announcer Bobby Cruz, and you're listening to Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, joined by Justin the Smash Simmons.
What's
Hello,
going on,
Justin.
Stu?
I'm doing good. We get to hear the dulcet tones of Bobby Cruz as ring announcer this Friday night. And big thanks to Rhett Titus again for giving me the time for that interview.
Oh, Rhett, by the way, we were talking about it during the break. There's a really good opportunity that you're going to end up walking away with some gold because for some reason, every previous member of ROH that's been on this show has ended up winning a title.
We do tend to be a little bit of good luck.
Yeah.
Whether it was Matt Taven winning the world title at the Madison Square Garden or Shane Taylor winning the TV title.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
Even
Flip's had his moments. So, hey, if our good luck rubs off on Rhett, we'll have him back on regardless.
Oh, definitely.
If he wants to come back on, we'll have him on. So, anyway, let's talk a little bit about Final Battle. This Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, pay-per-view, Fight TV, and Ring of Honor Club.
And this is still coming from the bubble, right?
This is still in the bubble, so no fans. The first hour is going to be free on, I believe it's Ring of Honor Club, maybe on a couple other outlets.
So this will be their pre-show, right?
Kind of like a pre-show, yeah.
Okay.
And the pre-show is going to include a fatal four-way match. The winner will get a shot at the Ring of Honor World TV Champion.
Will it be hosted by Brian Zane and the, and I'm sorry I don't remember her name, but the one that wears the bow tie and the
Quinn
glasses?
McKay?
Yeah.
Love Quinn McKay. I don't know. I would suspect it should be Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman still,
Okay.
but I don't know.
I like the fact that they're putting on more talent.
Yeah, they
and
do
that
a
they're
good job.
progressing and that they've been using YouTube and that type of medium to kind of expand. They did a really good recap show to preview their final battle. So I was just saying that their whole team has done a really good job. So I was just wondering if they're going to utilize more of that or it was just going to be Ian going forward.
I think it's going to be Ian and Caprice. So Dragon Lee is still the TV champion. In fact, he defeated Shane Taylor this time last year for that title. So
Well, I mean, there was a long pause.
there was a long pause. This is true.
since then.
So anyway, the Fatal 4-Way, winner gets a shot at that championship. You'll have Tony Deppen, Dak Draper, LSG, and Josh Woods. I'm going to lean Josh Woods just
Really?
because
But he lost before even going into this. Didn't he just drop a match to what's his name? I swear he lost.
well, he was in the Pure tournament
Yeah,
and he lost that one.
yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm trying to think of who did he fight. I was like,
I'm
just
not caught
saw.
up on my Ring of Honor.
I just saw the match
Been a
before I
couple
got
weeks,
here.
so-
That's why I'm
okay.
I'm disappointed. I can't remember.
I'm still
this.
leaning Josh. I could be wrong, but
See,
I'm
I-
leaning Josh.
For some reason, I think LSG would win this.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good one.
I think he's also had the best build storyline.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also had a match that was just announced. Danhausen taking on Brian Johnson.
Yeah, that one kind of just got thrown together.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I don't know either. I think they might have Danhausen win just because he's a fan favorite.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, are they trying to sell a couple of extra T-shirts before Christmas? Then you
Yeah.
let Danhausen win.
Well, and remember this. A lot of this is because Ring of Honor, they had some matches scheduled, but they had to change those matches due to COVID.
Yeah, because I was gonna say when I saw this pairing, I'm like, I know both of them are on the card, but I thought they were in different matches.
You've got so like for instance, You were supposed to have a grudge match between EC3 and Jay Briscoe.
Yes.
EC3's out.
Yep.
Bandito is out. Flamita is out, and Kenny King.
Yeah, all very disappointing.
So all 4. Yeah, I mean they're doing well. They're still at home, and did you
see that talk about EC3 being a free agent again after this?
I thought for some reason I thought he's been a free agent.
Okay,
but
maybe you're
but
right.
You may be right. I mean, yeah. So he's going to bounce. I think this is one of those things where he's going to find his outlet.
It's like he still has the name recognition, and he still has a great look, and he has a good character, but it doesn't seem like anybody wants to give him the ball and try to run him as a top guy anymore.
Well, I'm not sure if it's that or if it's simply the matter of he doesn't know. Maybe he's not sure where he wants to stick for a little while.
Well, it's tough though being a wrestler
because he went back to Impact, did the rivalry with Moose. Now he's in Ring of Honor.
Well, I mean, you got a few guys now in the industry that are athletes first, wrestlers second. But if you're a true pro wrestler, you're kind of like this creative soul that just aches and gets frustrated because everybody's vying for the same spot, and obviously he values himself at a higher position.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't seem that nobody's giving him the chance. But at the same token, there's so much talent coming up; it's hard to get to that spot now. It
is, but you hope someone gives him a shot because he's well deserving. You heard us talk. You heard me talk with Rhett Titus about this match, a Pure Rules tag title match. I think they said this is the first time in Ring of Honor they've done this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be the Foundations, Tracy Williams, Hot Sauce Tracy Williams, and Rhett Titus taking on Wheeler Yuta and Fred Yehi, who were both in that Pure title tournament.
I mean, the Foundation's looking extremely strong.
Yeah.
They're looking like the Undisputed Era right now of ROH.
Yes.
Which is funny because all those guys were the ROH guys.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I mean, we like Wheeler Yuta. We definitely like Fred Yehi because he sports our T-shirt. But, yeah, I got to lean Foundation on this one. In a grudge match, Vincent and Bateman taking on the OG Kingdom. Our friend Matt Taven and Mike Bennett.
Yeah, I don't see those guys losing.
No, of course not.
I was going to say
it's the OG Kingdom.
Yeah, it's like the feel-good story, the reunion, and it's gotten a lot of good press, so they should continue with that run.
I need to get those guys on.
But that just tells you that when they have the breakup, it's going to be a really good feud, hopefully, after that, whenever that comes.
It is.
But hopefully it's not for a couple of years,
For the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, Jay Lethal and Jonathan Gresham, the tag champs, representing the Foundation. It was, the Briscoes were looking to get tag title reign number 12. Well, Jay got distracted with EC3, so Mark, looking for a tag partner, he found one.
Yeah, maybe somebody crazier than him.
PCO and Mark Briscoe.
Actually, I saw their tag team match, or at least one of them that they had together, and surprisingly an efficient unit. Like they gelled really well together. Their reckless styles actually mesh really well. He's just like a bigger version, a stronger version, be it slower, of his brother. So I think that they could give everybody a real surprise going against a couple of really good wrestlers, that this match could work regardless of who they're going against.
I agree. I think it'll be a fantastic match. I'm still leaning in the Foundation to retain, but
yeah, they're not losing though.
Yeah.
I mean, the Foundation is being built, no pun intended, in order to be the top stable of ROH right now.
I believe so. Jonathan Gresham doing double duty at Final Battle because he's also going to defend the Pure Championship against our friend Flip Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, Flip's look really strong, especially in the bubble, but
he's looking ripped too.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's in great shape. Obviously, coming back from that injury, one of those times that the pause due to COVID might have helped him.
Oh yeah,
more than it hurt him because he was still coming back, and this has been a good opportunity to bounce back in the bubble.
Yeah,
but at the same token, I think again, this is all geared to making the Foundation look really strong. In order to do that is to keep Gresham the champion.
I think so. And then in the main event, Roosh, the world champion, defending against Brody King.
Ooh, now this is the one that's real intriguing because out of all the matches, this is the one that seems that we could have a legitimate title change because King has been riding that wave of momentum.
Yeah, he's been making a name for himself not only in Ring of Honor, he's been making a name for himself in New Japan.
Yeah,
doing all the New Japan USA shows on New Japan World. I think he's been showing up hadn't he been showing up with the NWA or UWN too?
I believe so. At least
Yeah.
at one time
So
he was. So I mean,
he's-
he's been working it, and he's always been consistent. He's been put on some great
Yeah.
matches, and I mean, if this is the time to make that change, I can understand. But I mean, Rush has been more than a comparable champion.
Yeah, I agree. So that's Ring of Honor Final Battle this Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, on pay-per-view, Ring of Honor Club, and Fight TV. And make sure you retweet and like our tweet so you can win a code to see it on Fight TV for free. So that's Friday night. Let's go to Sunday for WWE TLC. This Sunday, 7 p.m. 6 p.m. Central on the WWE Network, coming from the Thunderdome. There we go. A little pause there. Which is now Tropicana Field, the home of the Tampa Bay Rays of Major League Baseball. Like I said, I think this has been a paint-by-numbers kind of build.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's
And I wish they would really change this pay-per-view into something that was less tedious on the body. Like, do
Yeah.
we really need to see a tables, ladders, and chairs match when that's not their specialty?
Yeah, I agree. Now, we know 6 matches right now. Obviously, Friday night SmackDown, I would assume they'll add at least 1 or 2 more. Right now, as it looks, the New Day will defend the Raw Tag Team titles against Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander from the Hurt Business.
Although I will have to say, I do like how they're at least trying to build Cedric Alexander into a top heel.
Yeah, that's been interesting, and for that reason, I've been thinking, for the last couple weeks, I'm thinking, okay, Hurt Business is going to win titles. I got a feeling because of that, I think New Day is going to retain.
Well, they've also given everybody a legitimate reason why that could happen because Kofi's knee thing has progressed into the storyline week after week. So if they lose, New Day still looks strong because, hey,
Right.
they're not 100%, and they're still kind of getting adjusted to being a twosome more than a threesome.
Right. So,
But yeah, I can see what you're saying. I think the Hurt Business should win, but considering how MVP lost last night on Raw, like I'm still, you just never know.
yeah, you never know. So, who you got?
The Hurt Business.
Hurt Business? Okay. All right. In what has to be the least this build, I'm pretty sure that they have pretty much decided we don't care about the women's tag titles anymore. So you got a thrown together team, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, who's the current champions. They were supposed to defend against the Raw Women's Champion Asuka and Lana,
Yeah.
another thrown together team. Well, then they do the injury angle on Lana Monday night on Raw. Plus, you had Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose involved in shenanigans later in the show. So right now, Asuka needs a tag partner, but it's supposed to be Asuka and somebody against Jackson Baszler.
Well, I wish it would be Charlotte Flair, but she's not coming back until like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So Lacey Evans? I'm really not sure.
I don't know.
Io
It's-
Shirai?
I don't think it's going to matter because I think they're just going to keep it on Jackson Baszler.
Do you think she ends up having to wrestle a handicap match?
No, somebody will come out.
But, I mean, don't you think it should be somebody worthy of a push? I mean,
The problem is,
you gain
what does a
team-
push mean in WWE?
I mean, at least a month.
I don't know. Here's another one. And again, so the Fiend, who apparently can survive being in a burning box, faces Randy Orton.
Well, I mean, the Undertaker. There was 2 Undertakers at one time
There were 2 Undertakers
that fought at a match. So
That's
yeah,
right.
I'll believe anything.
Why not? So the Fiend versus Randy Orton.
I'm okay with this though. At least it was interesting. It was the most interesting part of Raw last night.
Sadly, yeah.
It should be
So-
your
Something tells me Orton.
no. This is the shenanigan match. Now we're gonna get our standard rest holds and
No,
slow
you're
movement.
right. It's going to be Fiend.
But then, like, I think Alexa Bliss is going to play a big part of this match. We're going to find out if she is solidified with the Fiend or if she's still within that limbo and Randy Orton brings out something that kind of
I
jolts
don't
her.
know. She hasn't been in limbo the last couple. Well, she hadn't been around the last couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So, but last time we saw her, she definitely wasn't in limbo. So, For the SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks defends against Carmella,
The repackaged Carmella.
who doesn't seem that much different from the original Carmella.
Yeah, I didn't understand the reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like when they did the whole Emelina thing.
Thank you. It's going to be Sasha.
Yeah, which makes no sense because we all know she's not going to win the title on this go around.
Yeah, I agree. And then the two top titles, both of them being defended in TLC matches. Drew McIntyre defends against AJ Styles. First of all, it's bad enough when we do the contract signings, but when they tout an ascension ceremony.
Yeah.
That's just, so you have to have a ceremony to raise the title up.
Yeah, at least they were trying something different. And it might be new to some kid out there.
Sure. That might be my problem. None of this stuff is new.
How can it be new?
It's not.
What
new.
could any professional wrestling company do that isn't traditional professional wrestling that you haven't already seen already?
Actual teleportation. I don't know.
They've done that with The Undertaker.
Well, and they did it with Matt Hardy at AEW too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's been done before.
Yeah.
See,
camera work. Drew's not losing. He's still going to be the.
But
champion.
it should be a really good match, hopefully.
Should be.
But at the end of the year, to have this type of career match, I'm always just kind of iffy. It's like, are they really going to go out and put pedal to the metal and give it an all-out performance?
Right. No, I agree. Real quick, because we got to wrap up. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens for the Universal title in a TLC. Of course, Roman's going to win.
Yeah, one of the Usos will help him out.
Jey Uso will help him out, but the rivalry will still be there. So, anyway, that's WWE TLC. If you really don't want to watch Browns Giants Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Sunday night on the WWE Network. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to let you know some information about Wrestle Kingdom 15, and AEW is getting in the Christmas spirit. We'll tell you all about it next on Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. 17:21. All right, good. Yeah, this is, this kind of goes in with, what's the one in July?
Hell in a Cell?
No.
Elimination Chamber?
No, this is what was it, Great Balls of Fire or the one they keep changing the name to. The one before SummerSlam.
Oh, I don't know.
It's kind of like, this is where you wonder, this is where you think, AEW's got the right idea in just doing 4 pay-per-views. Because this one, there's nothing to this. This is at best a mediocre Raw.
No, this is still better than what you would get on Raw because of the wrestlers. But I would think that maybe it would be no better than like a regular in your house show.
Yeah. So
but you shouldn't expect much at the end of the year.
And that's true. Again, we've got to temper our expectations, but it's kind of one of those things where I was watching Raw last night, and it was just kind of like, all right.
Why?
All right, here we go. All right, about time for, okay, that's where that happens. Yep. Okay. Yes, I did flip back and forth between that and Browns-Ravens.
But I'm like, again, I mean, what can they possibly do that's new? Like, what needs to happen?
What could happen that's gonna? I mean, apparently they didn't have that many people watching last night.
No, because we already knew that this doesn't matter because Royal Rumble is what? Next one?
Next one, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
January?
January should be the
right
last Sunday in January.
Yeah, because it's usually right before the Super Bowl, right?
Which, by the way, if things work out, I'll be in Tampa for Super Bowl week And Royal Rumble will be that Sunday night that I get to Tampa. So who knows? Maybe work something out. We'll see.
That'd be cool. I mean, you got the shirt from last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The one that nobody
and
got
I've
to
been
go
to a Royal Rumble. That was the one in San Antonio. With me and Brian Fritz. And
Which one was that one?
That's the one.
Because I've been to one in San Antonio.
That was the
also.
Alamo Dome. That was 17. I can look back because I got the tickets.
I'm like, I know the Miz gets thrown out over the ropes.
Yeah, that was 17.
In like 3 seconds.
Was that the one where Roman Reigns got booed?
I'm not sure. I don't know if he was even part of the company at that point. When the one I went to.
Oh, the one you went to. Okay, I'm thinking of the one I went to was 2017.
No, the one no.
Because we were there before we drove to Houston for Super Bowl 51.
No, I saw the one like back in the 2000s. The ones that had like Deuce and Domino still. Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, this is the one. This was in the Alamo Dome, which it was odd because they used the entire stadium. So you had the long WrestleMania length runway, and you'd see they do the whoever 15 was, they'd pose on top of the stage, and then they get this little cart, and the little cart would roll them down because it took so long.
I know some of our fans might not find this popular, but I was listening to Jim Cornette once, and he had mentioned that he doesn't like the way the stage looks when they have like these big entrance ramps for like WWE, like on regular Raw.
Okay.
It's a really wide ramp area.
Yeah.
They started doing this in the Attitude Era, basically. That's when that whole trend started. And I mean, it puts a real big focus on the talent and such, which is great. But he was saying that, and I agree with him on this, that it looks better when you're going through a little narrow pathway and you have all the fans right next to you at ringside, like where they can almost touch you.
Yeah.
And like,
a la the Sportatorium.
Well, there was ringside.
That was too narrow.
That was too narrow.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, though.
Do you think they need to bring that back? I mean, I know the WWE would never bring back that type of entrance, but
no, because we've been so conditioned to the big entrance ways. I mean, now NWA did it a couple years ago when they did their Crockett tag tournament.
Yeah,
they did that. But no, they won't. I don't think. Should they? The old school in me would love to see it, but I could imagine it's a security nightmare.
Maybe. I don't know how it's really any different than it normally would have been now, except for COVID now. I mean, I'm not sure when that happens.
The simple, space and all that good stuff. I don't know. Hey, I see what he's saying, and there's a small part of me that agrees. I don't think we'll ever see something like that again. At least not in the big companies.
No. But see, we say that, and then something gets hot. Because we're not going to decide what gets hot. It's going to be this new generation that's going to decide what's going to be hot in professional wrestling. And if it becomes something that can cross over into the pop culture mainstream.
Right. That's
what happened in the Attitude Era. Because everybody was like, oh, you'll never see the Hulkamania highs ever again. Because the Hulkamania era was huge. Sports Illustrated, Hulk's on Sports Illustrated. People were talking about it. It was like a mainstream thing.
Well, there's a couple things. You won't see that again because, number one, there's so many options now for wrestling that one can access, as opposed to back in the Hulkamania era where you basically, like for me, I knew there was a WWF, and if my antenna was pointing the right direction, I could get it. Otherwise, all I saw was Mid-South and World Class. Or if you were lucky and had cable.
Yeah, I was like, well, you should have sprung for the cable.
You might get WWF on some cable channel, some independent channel that gets on cable.
No, it would be on USA still. Because I used to get it.
Yeah, because of the primetime wrestling and All Stars and whatever. Yeah, you'd see that. But there was only like 2 or 3. There were basically only 2 promotions that were available. WWF and the NWA, or Crockett, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, Minnesota is still around at that point in time.
Yeah, but they didn't have a cable deal until late 80s, and that was
They were
that was
on
ESPN. That was in the late 80s. By then, WWF had all but taken up everything. That was a last-ditch attempt.
Oh, I know, for sure. And then they have the merger. But, I mean, the Attitude Era in popularity either met or exceeded that time period.
Right. But again, you didn't have – you only had 2. If you're in the Northeast, you could count ECW as 3.
Yeah, you had 3 big players, 2 big
but
players.
But you had 2 that
and
were
third.
on major cable TV with WCW and WWF.
Yeah, only for ECW to come late to the party. Because
And
they do eventually
And you were
get
still
their-
doing tape trading, too. Let's not forget that. You didn't – this was in the – you didn't have Twitter. You didn't have Facebook.
No, but it was the early days of the internet, so
Kind of early, but you didn't have the widespread like streaming services and YouTube and
yeah, you just didn't have
Right.
I think you were probably on
That's-
56K modem if you were lucky.
that's part of what you don't see the audiences for certain shows that you used to see because there is so much. I mean, I can sit here and watch New Japan Pro Wrestling happening in Japan live.
Yeah,
And I have to get up at 3 a.m., but yeah. Or I can stream Beyond Wrestling, or I can stream, name your favorite. I can stream AAW if they run Chicago.
yeah, but a Rock would have still been The Rock even today. Stone Cold still would have been Stone Cold, maybe a little toned down, but if they let him be the exact character today, it still would have worked.
Right. Here's something else that I got to thinking about. And this is something that has been I've noticed before. I guess with The Miz, with John Morrison. There is a certain segment of the WWE roster that they definitely want to branch out into acting. Sasha Banks on the Mandalorian and stuff like that. Whereas back in the day, if you were a wrestler, you're a wrestler for life. That was it. Again, The Rock changed that. Stone Cold changed that. Even Hogan, to a smaller degree, changed that.
Oh, well, he definitely changed that because, he walked away from 2 companies for a little while just so he could go film his stuff.
Yeah. So,
But he had the stroke to do it.
You get the notion that there are a few more that want to. Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
He's walked away from WWE. Now he has a pretty good movie career.
I mean,
going.
why would you blame any wrestler from wanting to walk
I
away from
would
taking
blame-
the bumps?
I don't necessarily blame him, but I think that it also feeds into the notion of Vince doesn't want any one wrestler's name to be bigger than the WWE for the same reason that, what happened with The Rock and what happened with Stone Cold. Which is why you don't have a megastar now like you did with The Rock and Stone Cold.
Because I'm like, if you would have had a chance to finish the CM Punk run, I think he's like one of the last ones that had a pretty good crossover following. But at the same token, that was also at the same time when crossover following in professional wrestling became a thing.
Yeah. I'm not sure, but the problem, I'm not sure Punk was wanting to go to Hollywood. That's the case.
No, but he wanted to be a fighter. It's just like Brock.
He
Brock
wanted to
became
go-
a big star. He just happened to stay in the world of sports.
Right.
Brock
Well,
Lesnar.
Punk tried it. It didn't happen.
Well, he's not Brock Lesnar.
No, he's not. But
No
you're
disrespect.
telling me no, it has nothing to do with disrespect. But he could definitely fight in his weight class and still.
Yeah, I know he can probably legitimately do damage to some, random guy that might be more his like level of fighting.
Plus, let's not forget, Brock Lesnar was a national champion in college wrestling
Yeah.
in Minnesota. CM Punk didn't have that, so Brock Lesnar was kind of built for something like that. CM Punk wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that with the controversy that surrounded him, and because people love controversy, he was the biggest star in WWE when he left.
I think there's still a case to be made that he's still one of the biggest stars. Because you always hear it. Now, I'm one of those that says, look, let the man stay retired if he wants to stay retired. Because you'll always hear, every now and again, you'll hear the pop-up of, CM Punk addressing, possible in-ring future or something like that. And people go all,
Well, he does make
hysterical about it.
appearances every now and then. And I mean, just like
Yeah.
last year he went into the ring, he delivered like a GTS. Nobody expected that to happen at some independent show. So,
Right.
So it's just like, and this is professional wrestling. We've all already know how it
always
works.
happens, yeah.
We're conditioned to this. No,
get that.
never say never in professional wrestling.
This is true.
Dollar signs line up. I'm just saying that he was, along with John Cena, one of the last stars that the WWE had, where it looked like he was going to be able to make real money if he had decided to cross over when he was at his peak into something more mainstream like acting or something like that.
Yeah, and John Cena hasn't had that breakout role either.
Yeah, which makes me wonder, like, if he doesn't
Dwayne
get...
Johnson had, what was it? I guess Mummy was his. Right?
He was in The Mummy. He was the bad guy in The Mummy.
Right.
But he had that. He had like the Tooth Fairy thing because he was still wrestling during that time. Like he was
Right.
still more wrestling than the movies. But what's the one where he's like he leaves, like after WrestleMania 19? Oh, Fast and the Furious. Once he starts showing up, once he started showing up in the Fast and the Furious movies, like you already knew, like his screen presence in those movies is where he kind of just overshadows everybody, and you already knew that he was too big.
Yeah, you're right. So, all right, let's do this last segment and have a little fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or let's just assume poor, this is MJF, and you're listening to the Sports Guys Talking Wrestling.
Sports Guys Talking Wrestling on the Horn. Stu Myrick, Justin the Smash Simmons, and his favorite wrestler of all, Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Have you seen that thing on Twitter where he reviews podcasts?
No, but I can only imagine.
Can you get him to review our podcast? Just so he knows how big of a fan I am and how much I have appreciated our interactions each and every time that we have met.
As long as he keeps his hands off my headphones, I'll let him. Sure. That was our thing when he would wrestle for Inspire. He'd always come over before he goes to the ring, grabs my headset, spouts out whatever nonsense he wanted to spout out, and then just toss him down.
I mean, that's why he's where he's at, and that's why we're here, is because, he's just better than us.
Well,
it's true.
I mean, if we were just talking off air about movie roles, wrestlers and movie roles, and MJF has inherited probably one of the most iconic movie roles of the holiday season. So you remember a few weeks ago, we did this exercise casting AEW wrestlers in a table read of A Christmas Story.
Did most of them come true?
A few of them did.
Okay.
So sure enough, as part of a on-air awareness, raising awareness for AEW's nonprofit partner Culture City, they have filmed reenactments of iconic scenes from A Christmas Story. These will show up during the 24 Hours of A Christmas Story marathon that will air starting Christmas Eve on TBS and TNT. And sure enough, Maxwell Jacob Friedman will be filling the role of Ralphie.
Well, no doubt. I mean, he obviously is the guy on the AEW roster who has the most acting range.
Now, there is a trailer you can see it on YouTube, and AEW tweeted it out at AEW. And he does this. They showed the scene where Ralphie finally gets to see Santa Claus, Santa Claus, by the way, they went totally off what we were provided as far as, because I think Santa was either going to be Lance Archer or Eddie Kingston or the Butcher. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
No, Chris Jericho
Well, I mean,
as
that's
Santa Claus.
obviously a much better pairing than what could have ever been with the paper we were provided earlier.
Chris Jericho and MJF in the iconic "What Would You Like for Christmas, Little Boy?"
So you're saying it's going to be a duet?
Not singing, not singing.
Well, we don't know that.
No, it's because there's no song there.
But
There's no song.
But this isn't like
they're just going to take those scenes and reenact them. The rest of the cast.
But did they say reenactment as in like a true reenactment,
Yes,
or is it
yes.
more like an interpreted
no,
reenactment?
true reenactment. The rest of the cast, we did know Cody and Brandy Rhodes will play Mr. and Mrs. Parker, Ralphie's parents. We mentioned Chris Jericho will play Santa Claus. Eddie Kingston will play Schwartz. Scorpio Sky will play Ralphie's little brother, Randy.
Huh.
Ortiz from the Inner Circle will play Flick.
See, we got that one right.
Dr. Britt Baker as Miss Shields. We were hoping for Big Swole.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Scott Farkas, the bully. Ricky Starks.
Oh, perfect casting.
Allie will play Dill, which is Farkas' little sidekick. The elf that stands there with Santa, Frankie Kazarian.
Hey, it's payday.
And the narration by Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone.
That makes perfect sense.
Just a little bit of the video I saw. Oh my God. It's going to be wonderful.
I was going to say, this seems like one of those things where like it could be really, really great. It could be subpar, and it's still going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome. These will air as they're doing the 24-hour marathon of A Christmas Story on TBS and TNT starting Christmas Eve. They also mentioned AEW Dynamite will have a special Holiday Bash episode on December 23rd. There's an NBA game that night. I don't know who the matchup is, but so they mentioned that as well.
Yes, because it will be the regular season by that point.
Yeah, and this as the press release says, this exclusive activation will help raise awareness for AEW's nonprofit partner Culture City, which is the nation's leading nonprofit on sensory accessibility for those with autism, PTSD, anxiety, and other sensory ailments. And starting on Wednesday, December 23rd, fans can log on to AEWcares, CARES.com, and donate to Culture City. So we get some fun, holiday, Christmas fun, and you get to help out a
Just
wonderful...
in case you haven't been following the show for like the last 5 years and you're not watching live on YouTube, Stu really pops for Christmas related stuff. So he's really excited about this.
I am. This is going to be fantastic. I'll show you the pictures later, but they shared some pictures and just fantastic.
I have successfully maybe only heard like 2 Christmas songs this whole entire time. I'm one of those people who's like, Christmas Eve, I'm totally down with it. But anytime before that,
Real quick, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they've added more matches to the Wrestle Kingdom 15 card. We know that on night 1, Tetsuya Naito will defend the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles against Kota Ibushi. Then on night 2, the winner of that match will face Switchblade Jay White. The matches added. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, will take on Great Okan. Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr., the current IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, they will defend those titles against the winners of the World Tag League, Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, the Gorillas of Destiny. The Best Super Juniors winner, Hiromu Takahashi, takes on the Super J Cup winner, El Phantasmo. Should be a good one.
hell yeah.
You also got Sonata versus Evil. That's been a big rivalry ever since Evil left LIJ.
But Sonata's been on a great run.
He has. Shingo Takagi will defend the Never Openweight title against Jeff Cobb. And Taiji Ishimori will defend the Junior Heavyweight title against either El Phantasmo or Takahashi, whoever wins that match.
Well, I mean, the matches are great, but I'm more interested, like, that part of the world right now. I know they had, like, a little outbreak just recently, but fans supposed to be in attendance for these type of things?
We'll see. I have not heard. Not heard. So, and that'll do it for this week's Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. You can follow Justin Smash Simmons on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at The Smash Simmons. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Stu Myrick. That's STEWMYRICK. You can follow the show on Twitter at SGTWATX. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. We are proud to be the official broadcast partner of the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, and we're proud to be part of the great lineup you hear every day. On the flagship station for the Texas Longhorns and your radio home in Austin for the Dallas Cowboys, we are The Horn. Catch us Wednesday nights on The Horn, or you can catch us anytime on demand by going to hornfm.com and click on the On-Air tab, or by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast platform. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thank you so much for giving us a little bit of your time. Have a great week. We will see you at the matches.
Goodbye and good night. Bang!
Sorry, I used, but we were running long, so.
No, you're going to have to do it again because you need to tell people that we're not going to be on, or we're going to have to have a.
Oh, you talk about for next week? Next week is up in the air, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So I got to check because they've changed the schedule so many times. You know, Trey Elling has sent me about 3 programming schedules in the last 2 weeks. So I'll check it. Stay tuned to our social media at SGTWATX. We'll let you know if we do a show next week. It may not be on YouTube. It may be me with somebody. Or it might be a best of show. Who knows?
Well, it can't be a best of. Oh, you mean like best of, like you just rolled
From the
something.
year. Yeah.
Oh, you mean classic
Like,
SGTW.
yeah.
Yeah, you should go into like, episode 67 or something like that.
I could play one of our early interviews, like with Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin or something like that. We'll see. I mean, I don't expect TLC to come, bear out any news, but we'll see.
Oh, I mean, man, we missed out on a few things, I think, right? Rest in peace, Zeus.
Yep.
I mean,
Tiny Lister
yeah.
at the age of 62, I believe is what it said.
Yeah, young.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was another one of those guys that wasn't a pro wrestler, got brought in, did money. Made money.
Made money.
Had a lot of views.
Thanks to that movie, No Holds Barred, with Hulk Hogan.
Which, I mean, when you go back and look at it, really still doesn't make any sense. Because it's all like, so Hogan is wearing the WWF Championship, but it's in white, and it's not Hogan, but it basically
Rip
is
something.
It's Rip Hawk, right?
Rip.
No, it's not Rip Hawk, but it's
no.
Rip for sure.
Rip something. I forget. Yeah.
Shaka bra. He always tries to get that over the entire time.
Which I always learned this is hang loose. 2.5 years in Hawaii.
But they call it Shaka bra.
It's also hang loose. So yeah.
I mean, even Crush called it Shaka bra. That was like his thing for a whole 2 years of the WWF was evil Hawaiian gimmick.
And apparently, he's. What else was there? Speaking of Hawaii, congratulations to Army on defeating Navy Saturday. They were repping.
Yeah, you're
the division that I was a proud member of, 25th Infantry Division, which is based in Hawaii. I spent 2.5 years with. Then it was 25th Infantry Division Light. They have gotten rid of the light designation, so they've changed a lot. This is 30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean everything evolves.
Yes, but yeah, congratulations to them. What else was there?
But we didn't even talk about Triple Mania. Did you see Triple Mania?
I did not.
You missed Triple Mania?
Yeah.
Triple Mania probably had one of the best matches of the year in the main. Well, it was the co-main event. Omega
versus
Laredo Kid.
Laredo Kid. That's right.
Man,
it was supposed to be Ray Phoenix, but Ray's. It's not. I don't know if he's injured or he just couldn't go.
Well, it was for the Mega Championship,
right.
which is the
which
main
Omega
title.
Still holds.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. I mean, we didn't really talk about Kenny Omega. I feel enough today, but
because we covered him last week with Dustin, So
Maybe, but I feel like he's done even so much more. I mean, think about it. He shows up with the title on Impact. That makes an impact on Impact's ratings because there was a good viewership there. He's kind of doing something a little different that I haven't really seen, where he's crossing through all these promotions, a little territory old school, and he has he has the manager that has a little Vince McMahon ish to it, because it's like, okay, manager of a evil promoter of a company, it's all like, yeah, of course you can get him the main title maybe in his company,
who may or may not be leaving Impact.
Yeah,
soon.
So there's like a lot of this, like they've really constructed this story. It's kind of funny because I know Dustin said I was being a little difficult about some of the story. I was like, no, but this one's been terrific. Like, no doubt.
It has been.
Like, I like the way that there's enough realism blended into, and this is ultimately what was successful in the Attitude Era, was that you had that blending of realism.
Yes.
Is it a shoot? Is it not real?
Right.
And
that's what helped the NWO.
Yeah, and that was perfect execution with Kenny Omega, but he's also one of those guys that can back it up in the ring.
Yeah.
To be that good.
That helps. That helps tremendously.
So with no crowd essentially in Mexico, I mean, they have like a 5-star match, him and Laredo Kid.
Yeah.
And I mean, he took some nasty bumps. And I was all like, I'm not sure if Tony Khan's going to be too happy with Omega taking these bumps. I mean, Nakazawa was supposed to catch him on the outside and missed. So he takes this awful bump where he just, he does that flip over the ropes and then he just lands back first and heel first on the concrete floor, essentially. I don't think there's any padding. I think there was just maybe like a carpet over it, but no real padding. So I'm like, man, he really put his body on the line during that performance. And it's just all like, I know he's the best bout machine, but it's just all like, wow. I mean, I guess he can do whatever he wants, though, right? He's one of the main guys with AEW.
Yeah. Here, I found the pictures. All right, so there's, as Mr. Parker gets the major award, that's Fragile. Cody and Brandy, along with MJF and Scorpio Sky. There we go. That one. There's the money shot. Chris Jericho is Santa Claus. MJF is Ralphie.
Yeah, I mean, this should be. I mean, any interaction between those two is usually gold.
It's going to be just fantastic. And yes, the major award, the leg lamp.
Well, I mean,
I may have to get one of those one of these days.
We talked about you getting one before, and you're like, nah.
Let's see this. There we go. There's Double Dog Dare. Except they're using the ring post instead of the flagpole. Oh, here we go. This is MJF in the pink bunny suit.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So anyway.
For our viewers that enjoy hardcore wrestling, because I'm not a big hardcore wrestling fan, the ending of Triple Mania, though, was Pagano against Chessmen.
Right, hair first. It was a hair match, right?
See, yes, it was a match.
I read about it, but
it was slow. It was prodding, but man, let me tell you, go back and watch it. It was one of the most brutal things I have seen in quite a while, and I mean, these guys took some nasty bumps. I mean, they did this. The end spot is them going from like where Kevin Owens jumped in WrestleMania down to a truck that has a table on it, and they go through the table on this truck bed, like a Ford Ranger or something like that. Really? And that was just like one of many dangerous spots that Pagano and Chessman put themselves through. So I mean, if you love hardcore wrestling, do yourself a favor. Pagano is like one of the best hardcore wrestlers in the world right now. That match was, besides the slow pace, really good. If you can, if you appreciate those guys putting their body on the line.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's it's kind of weird because, like I said, we're in that period where it's like, okay, ramp up towards Royal Rumble, which then ramps up into WrestleMania. We still don't know what things are going to look like because, the vaccines did start going out yesterday. The second one, the Moderna vaccine, will go through its process later this week, and it should get shipped Monday. but it's still going to take a while to get everybody vaccinated. So, but part of what, if you believe the rumor innuendo, part of Vince moving the Thunderdome to Tropicana Field is in the hope that he's allowed to have fans at, say, Royal Rumble and such, because obviously Tropicana, Major League Baseball stadium, much bigger than a NBA arena.
Yeah, I'm thinking just because it's Florida,
And it's Florida,
it's probably going to happen.
And
Florida. If he can't pull it off in Florida, I'm sure he can pull it off here in Texas because, we're not doing much better.
Nope.
Not to get political, but I don't think we're going to be closing the state anytime soon. So
Jerry will let him use the stadium.
Yeah, he's already had.
Lord knows the Cowboys aren't going to be using it.
Oh, Stu, you went there. But yeah, there's multiple stadiums that they can use there. They can use the ballpark at Arlington. They can use the old. I don't know which is the difference. Which is the field?
Globe Life. Gosh darn it!
There's Globe Life Field and there's the Globe Life Park, and they both use.
Park is the old one.
Okay, they still use it for football and like minor league soccer there.
Yes. Globe Life Field is the new Rangers ballpark.
Yeah, so I'm like, there's
but Globe Life Park, yeah, I'd say they could use that one.
Yeah, all of those should be available. At least
for that
one of them
matter,
will.
go to Frisco, play at the
Star.
Either the Star or
where FC Dallas plays.
Thank you. What's the name
Toyota
of that?
Stadium?
Thank you, Toyota Stadium.
No, I don't think there's enough seating for the fans that the WWE would attract at Toyota Stadium.
True.
That's so mean because nobody goes to the FC Dallas games. It's out in Frisco, and
it
it's
is.
like if you can or they can still have
it's
it
a
at
nice
the
stadium.
they can
I've
still
been
probably
there.
have it at the AAC if they really wanted to have it indoors.
Yeah, but my sense
But
is
Jerry
they want
World would be the best.
Yeah, that's the ideal.
But one of the Rangers ballparks, I think, would work too.
Globe Life Field because you could close the roof, but
Or
I
you-
doubt they would let. I doubt the Rangers would let them use Globe Life Field.
The Rangers won't be using it. So
Sure they will. Well, coming up,
it's January and March.
You're barely into spring training. But
always,
it'd be-
I guess
it'd
they
be
can
kinda
always have
like-
it in Round Rock, right?
At the Dell Diamond?
Wait, you wouldn't want to go see Royal Rumble at the Dell Diamond?
Huh. We can make a phone call.
I
Reed
know.
Ryan's president of the Round Rock Express again.
I don't have his cell
I
number.
bet you.
though.
I bet you Reed will let it happen. I know a few people up there.
I think we would just have too many fans, so that would show up for something like that.
That's Round Rock, the Dell Diamond, it holds quite a few, but it's it's a minor league ballpark.
Yeah, and not during COVID.
Not during COVID.
And easily, you're going to fill out the 20% capacity limit or whatever it's going to be at whatever point.
Absolutely. So, oh well. Hopefully, someone will solve these first world problems. So,
But in hindsight now, don't you think that WWE made the right move to have WrestleMania at the beginning of this whole COVID thing and to do it the way they did it? They kind of set the tone for everyone.
well,
Because if they had waited,
part of it depends on what happened as a result, and I'm not talking about storylines. I'm talking about keeping people safe. Did you have any type of outbreak as a result of doing WrestleMania over those 2 days in April? Speaking, I just joking about trailing. I just got another. Let's see. All right, just got another programming schedule. But it was fine. Obviously, they're going to make up. They're going to make it up to Tampa Bay.
yeah.
somehow.
But I'm saying the stuff that transpired. I know we were talking about they should have waited to do WrestleMania. So the big moments of change, changing the title should have happened in front of a crowd. They could have put it off a little bit longer. They could have postponed, and they went ahead and did it anyways. And I felt that it turned out to be the right call because if they had
Turned out
waited, we improve the situation any as a country. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
yeah,
absolutely.
so like, we were all in hopes like, hey, if they had postponed that, this would have kind of subsided.
But remember, we were less than a month into, we were less than a month into the pandemic at that point.
Exactly.
So we had no clue. We had no clue we would still be sitting here mid-December. And just now we're getting, and we're getting vaccines. And I say just now, it's faster than what you would normally see, because vaccines usually take about 18 months to 2 years
Yeah, this is
to make it through the FDA process.
Yeah, this is something that's been fast tracked.
Right.
But I'm just saying that, like, it turned out, I think, in retrospect, that they pulled off the right move by go ahead and going and executing their plans despite COVID. And sometimes I think we knock them because they're doing things like that because they're so stubborn. But in this case, it worked out to their benefit.
It worked out well. I mean, it worked out to their benefit. I think a lot of nobody was worried about their benefit. Everybody's worried about, okay, was this going to happen? How is this going to cause a bunch of your roster to catch COVID?
Oh yeah,
that was the concern. Didn't care about whether it was going to benefit WWE or not. Right now, they have us as TBA next week. So we might do a show next week. We will not do a show the week between Christmas and New Year's, but we might do something next week, whether it's the two of us or me and a guest or best of. We'll see.
Should have done the duet. Would have had something to roll.
Duet with who?
Sitting right here, Stu. What do you mean?
Okay, you and who?
You and me. It's a duet.
Dude, no. My singing days are long gone. Ain't happening.
It's not like we're trying to get you into the professional wrestling ring and take bumps here.
Yeah, but I don't want to scare people off.
Do you
with
have
my
like
singing
a
voice.
traumatizing childhood story where you like blew out your throat like mid song or something? And
No.
like, you're like, oh, you can never sing again.
No, I just don't. I'm not that good a singer. I mean, I was back in my day. I was okay, but
Well, I
No.
mean, the spirit
That's
of the duet is more important than the talent of the duet.
well, we've lost out whatever few viewers we had. So,
See, because they were expecting the duet,
yeah,
and you
right.
said no.
Right.
So then they were like, "Oh, Stu's
Let's,
not in, then I'm done."
let's get out of here. We got lives to lead and such. So, again, thanks to everybody who joins us. Like I said, stay tuned to our social media. Find out. By the way, also make sure you go to our social media. Find the tweet at the top of the account. Like and retweet it. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you follow Fight TV. And you can win the streaming code for this Friday's Ring of Honor Final Battle. For Justin, I'm Stu. Thanks so much. Have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.